Marmalade Shred. It's an upper-lower superset program. It's excellent for getting lean and built without putting on too much mass. The exercises are organized in pairs. Typically, you're alternating between upper and lower body to keep the heart rate shunting the blood up and down. You're going to do all the exercises in each circuit before progressing to the next circuit. So you're going to complete all sets of the first grouping before moving on to the second grouping. On the back of the sheet, you're going to see that the sets progress from about 2 to 3 sets in your first few workouts up to as many as 5 for some of the bigger movements. So we're going to start off with the narrow squats, heels elevated. For this exercise, I'll commonly elevate the heels on the handle of hexagonal dumbbells. You can see the hexagonal dumbbells here, they're not going to roll away, so we can elevate the heels on the handles there. But you could also, if you wanted to, you can use things like weight plates, like having a flat weight plate like this on the ground, and you can just elevate your heels on that if that works better for you. So for this one here, you have your heels elevated, feet are as close together as you can get them. Dumbbells held down by your sides, you're going to go down nice and slow, then up, and then you stop just shy of locking out the knees on the way up. So you keep a soft bend in the knees at all times, and that will put a lot more pressure on the quadricep muscles. Now the next exercise we're going to go on to is the twisting rows over the incline bench. For this one here, you're typically going to elevate the bench up 1, 2 clicks, or about 30 degrees. It's going to be different depending on the bench you use, and it's not always going to be 30 degrees. Just do the best you can. So for this one here, you're going to have your chest in alignment with the top of the backrest. Legs are straight, ankles flexed, toes tucked under. You're holding the dumbbells straight down in an overhand grip. You're going to pull them up beside the waist, turning the grip to finish with a sideways semi-supinated grip, so your palms face the outside of your ribs. Lower them down and repeat, just like this. Now if you don't have access to an adjustable bench like this, a variation that you can do is to do the rows with your butt on a wall and just pull them up beside your waist from here, lower back down and repeat. This is a good variant because having your butt on the wall does reduce the postural demands so that you can focus more on the pulling muscles. Now the next exercise we're going to be doing is the single leg deadlift. For this one here, you're going to be standing on one leg, you're going to bend forward, slide the dumbbells down to about mid-shin, stand up tall and repeat. And you can set your foot down between every rep. It's nice and slow on the forward bend. You will feel this typically in the hamstrings and the low back, a little bit in the glutes. The main thing to watch there is that you just keep a straight spine, that you're not slouching and rounding the back, that you keep the spine very straight at all times. Now the next one we're going to be doing is a 15-degree incline chest press. For this here, we would lower it down so that it's elevated just the first click, or 15 degrees. From here, you're going to be holding the dumbbells beside your chest in an overhand grip, pressing them up and together, then slowly bringing them down beside the chest on either side. So this 15-degree incline is just going to help target some of the upper chest fibers. Now, if you don't have a bench that inclines like this, a very simple variation you can do is to take a Bosu ball, or even you can fold up some towels or a pillow, and you place it flat on the ground. Then what you'll do is you'll elevate your upper shoulders and head on that Bosu ball, and you'll use that to achieve that 15-degree incline, just like this. So this is an acceptable variation if you don't have an adjustable bench. Okay, the next one we're going on to is the bittersweet polka dance. This is a sumo squat. You're going to be holding on to both dumbbells just like this. You're holding them together, palms facing each other. You're going to squat down and stand up. It's done at a quicker pace. You'll notice that you're probably not able to squat as low. And that has to do with just the way that the ball and socket of the hip articulate. You're going to hit a natural end, kind of like a little bit of a bony end feel as you get low in that squat, and then you just pop back up. It's different for everybody. It all has to do with genetic variations on the head of the femur and the acetabulum, the socket, okay? So just know that everybody's going to be different in terms of their ideal depth on that one. The next one we're going on to is a reverse fly. Now for this one here, we're going back up to about 30 degrees. You're going to grab lighter weights, and you're going to be once again laying face down over the incline bench. Legs are straight at the knees, ankles flexed, toes tucked under. For this one here, we have the palms facing behind you. Now, there are variations you can do on the grip for this one. We're going to arc the weights all the way up and out to the sides, lower them down and repeat, just like this. Arcing them behind is going to work a little bit more the rear deltoid. If you have problems with your shoulder joints, if you go with palms forward, that might be a little bit easier on the shoulder joint. It's going to target a little bit more of the mid-trapezius muscles, so it just changes up the muscles a little bit. But both variations are acceptable. Now, if you don't have an incline bench, once again, you could just put your butt on a wall and do the exercise like this, and that would be an acceptable variation. I'm just going to show you from the front what that looks like. So you're arcing them up and out wide to the sides. Now, next one is the knee kick lunges. Knee kick lunges. So this one here, you're going to take a big step back, bring your chest to your thighs and fingers to the ground. Then you're going to come up and do a knee kick. Down, up and do a knee kick. Now, progressions for this are to hold weights. Obviously, that's going to increase the intensity. A further progression is to do a little bit of hop at the top. So it'll look like this. So start off with the standard variation, just body weight. If it's not challenging enough, add some weights. And if you want to challenge yourself further, as long as your joints can tolerate it, then I suggest that you go on to the variation where you add the hop to the top of each rep. Now, the final exercise here is going to be the kneeling full circle side raises. So for this one here, you're holding some light dumbbells down in front. You're going to arc them up to the side. As you get to shoulder height, you flip the grip, touch them together overhead, flip the grip at shoulder height. Flip the grip at shoulder height, flip the grip at shoulder height. Just like that. Now, when I'm doing this from a tall kneeling position, so I have my ankles flexed and toes tucked under, just like so. Some different variations on this exercise is to go behind the back. When you lower it down, that's just going to hit your muscles a little bit differently. Both variations are acceptable. And that is the final exercise in Marmalade Shred Day 1. So this is Day 1. It's meant to be alternated with Day 2. Ideally, you would do these workouts 4 times a week. Perhaps Day 1 on Monday, Day 2 on Tuesday. Then a day off. Day 1 on Thursday, Day 2 on Friday, Saturday and Sunday are off. That would be the ideal way to do this. If you don't have the time, you can do them 3 times a week and just alternate between Day 1 and Day 2. For best results for fat burning, you can do 30 to 45 minutes of cardio up to 5 times a week on top of this. A lot of times I'll get people to do 4 cardio workouts of 20-minute intervals. So 20-minute intervals 4 times a week on top of this, and I usually have them do it right after the weight workout. So those are some different options, depends on what works best for you. This is Marmalade Shred.